Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone is doing well today. Shout out to all the subscribers and big up to anyone new locked in. Gratitude to you. Let's talk about OTABEK Kholmatov versus Raymond Ford. This is a very interesting fight. Shout out to True School Sports who broke this fight a while ago. Big up to him. I've done a couple of videos on it, but the fight is tomorrow night in Verona in New York City, or New York State, excuse me. So Vacant WBA featherweight belt is on the line. Look, this is a tough fight for Raymond Ford, okay? And, you know, OTABEK, Uzbek, shout out to the Uzbeks locked in. I know I haven't done a video on you guys for a while, but, you know, there hasn't been a lot to report on, to be honest with you. I know Gayasov fought the other week, but this week, Kholmatov. And if you don't know about Uzbek fighting, I did a documentary on the style. I'll leave the link up here, but I went into quite deep detail on the style. And Kholmatov really exhibits the Uzbek style, really. Like, it's basically a front foot pressure fighting style with a lot of Eastern European movement, a little bit of pendulum stepping, a little bit of shuffling with the feet, some feinting, but it's like a lot of pressure, but they know how to bounce and counter. They're a very advanced style of pressure fighting, okay? And they love going downstairs to the body. They love that backhand uppercut. They're typically southpaws because they churn them out deliberately, like Cuban fighters. Okay, the amount of southpaws that you see in the gyms, in the Uzbek gyms, and I spoke about this in the documentary, is done deliberately. And like, a lot of them are just so fluid. And, you know, being a southpaw, you know, you get an advantage, really. So they're raised as southpaws, but their footwork drills that they do are phenomenal. Their feet are very graceful, very athletic as well. They can switch hit, a lot of them can. But, you know, Kholmatov is a massive featherweight. He's a big guy. And when you're fighting a big guy, I know Emmanuel Stewart has mentioned this so many times, and I have too, because, like, you know, I can attest to it. If you're fighting a bigger man, the ring's smaller. It's just like, there's something about the sheer size of a man walking you down. The ring's a bit smaller, their frame's a bit wider. So I feel like Raymond Ford's probably going to feel the size of Kholmatov, even without feeling his punches. He's going to see and feel the size of him. So it's going to be a tough night's work for Ford. One thing he has to absolutely make sure of doing, he has to be in the best shape of his life. And I do mean, like, the best shape he's ever been in. You would like to think that he will be, because it's a world title fight, but like, at the end of the day, reason why I say that is because Uzbeks come in shape. That's part of their discipline. They're tremendously disciplined and they are tremendously hard working. So at the very least, you got to match that. And the other reason why is because of Raymond Ford's style. He's very flashy, he's very twitchy, reflex type of fighter. A lot of his speed is, you know, what he's really known for. But, you know, when you're flashing speedy shots out like that, that requires a bit more energy, right? And Kholmatov is a bit of a counter puncher too. He can counter punch on the front foot, so you need to get that speed in there for him to not be able to counter punch you as much in and out. He's got to keep moving forward, so Kholmatov can't set his feet. He's got to turn him. I mean, look, I don't know if he's gonna. I would not recommend him fighting on the inside with him at all. There was a couple of fights Raymond Ford had with suspect. We might have lost. I can't remember. I just watched the fight. I forgot his name. Was it Garcia? I'll leave it up on the screen if it wasn't. But he elected to bang with that guy a little early, stay in the pocket, trade, get a bit careless. And he can't afford to do that against Kholmatov. He's got to keep it moving. He's got to flash that jab, a jab to the body. Ford's got a pretty decent jab to the body. And when you're jabbing to the body, it's a little bit different to jabbing to the head. It's not as flashy. You got to push it almost, you know, push them back a little bit. If you're not doing it just to push them back, their hands will come down. There's shots upstairs available. But if you just jab into the stomach, you watch Mayweather, Andre Ward, you know, they're masters at it, but it just buys them a little bit of time. If you've got this massive guy breathing down your neck, you just boom, jab to the stomach like that, boom. I know he's a southpaw, so they're both southpaws, so it probably won't, you know, make that much of a difference really. It'll be fairly conventional, but a jab to the body, jab to the head. Like I said, I don't know if he's going to be able to tie this guy up because he's so big. And it could be awkward with the start. I don't know, but I would just reckon he's got to, like I said, keep in great shape, keep it moving. Don't let Kholmatov set too much. Definitely don't stay on the ropes, and don't get in the middle and try to trade with him or get caught up in any silly exchanges. The back end of the fight is going to be a little rough for Ford. I'm not saying he can't beat Kholmatov. I think, you know, if he comes in amazing shape and he's able to get off to a slick, flashy start and get some rounds in the bank, get his confidence going, because he's a confidence fighter, Raymond Ford, it seems, you know. He's a very, very confident guy when he's fighting well. But, you know, if he gets caught up into a fight that isn't his, you know, I don't know what word I'm looking for, but it's not good. And against Kholmatov, like I said, the sheer size of the man, he's got skills as well, and he's powerful, he's strong, he can punch, he's knocked out 11 in 12, and it's just a rough night's work because they come so determined and so rugged and skilled, and, you know, just basically putting the pressure on non-stop. They don't really let you breathe that much. And, you know, Kholmatov, basically, as I said, he'll come on the front foot and he'll use a little bit of a shuffle. He's got a good variation of punches. He's got, and most Uzbeks do have a beautiful back left hand uppercut, just like the Cubans. You know, they'll slip inside like that, or he'll catch it and shoot a catch and shoot uppercut. One of his better punches, but you know, the punches come from all angles, and that's why Ford can't afford to just stop. And you know, the body punches will come in that will slow Ford down, but if Ford gets on his jab and he's flashing that jab and he's in great shape and he's feeling confident, he's banking the rounds, and you know, he's turning Kholmatov, like I said, I don't think there's any reason why he can't win the fight if he keeps that up. But that is a massive if, and it's a if that I don't personally think will happen. I think he can do it for a few rounds early, but you know, as the tide turns and the speed drops and the energy bar drops and you know, stuff like that, then you know, what desire has Ford got? We've not seen him we will not have seen him in a life and death situation, which I think he might feel like he's in, and he might be able to cutely evade that and you know, make it to the bell maybe. I'm on the fence whether it's going to be a Kholmatov points win, probably a clear points win, or he's going to stop Ford late, like 10 or 11. Let me know what you guys think. What do you think? Do you think Ford's got the goods to make it to the bell and outskill him? He definitely has the goods to outskill him in parts earlier on, definitely. I think he'll probably come out to an early lead, I would say. But after that, when the tide turns, question for me is, will he make it to the bell? not will he win? I hope they both come out the ring healthy. Got much respect for both these superhuman beings these professional fighters are. So I've got love for them, but I personally think Kholmatov is going to win this fight. He's going to become the world champion, the WBA featherweight champion, and I think he's going to stop Raymond Ford round 10 or 11. But I also wouldn't be surprised if it went to the distance. I just think he's too big, he's too skilled, he's too disciplined, and he's too, I say awkward. That style is a lot to deal with, you know. It's like I said, watch the documentary, because I really spent weeks on that. You know, really understanding and reading about them and watching all their styles and the history of it, and I really got to understand the style, and it's just an amazing style, but it takes a tremendous amount of discipline to implement it, you know, because like I said, they don't mess about when it comes to training up there, and they all stick together as a team. You know, one or two have branched off and done their own thing, but typically they stick together, but they put the work in, and they have that Eastern European, because Uzbekistan was part of the USSR, and it's right next to, you know, Turkmenistan, which is where Bivol's from, or sorry, Kyrgyzstan. I lose track. They're similar, but the point is they have that Euro check hook as well. You know, not the traditional American check hook where you pivot off the front foot. They do this and they spin off to the side, and it's just a very well-schooled, well-rounded, very disciplined, hard-working, tough style. And they've got skills. And I think skills will prevail, because Ford's got skills, you know. He's got probably arguably more skills in terms of flashy reflexes and athleticism, but you know, the overall Kholmatov's got skill. The footwork is, well, very underrated Uzbek footwork. But that's it from me. Let me know your thoughts. I've got loads of videos coming, maybe not till next week, but shout out to all the new subscribers as well. I'm going to be doing a bunch of videos on the AJ fight, the AJ Ngannou. I'm going to be covering Justice Honey. Shout out to the subscriber that asked for him. He's on the undercard of that. I'm not sure who he's fighting yet. I've got Matthias and, oh man, Elvis Rodriguez. That might be happening. I'm going to talk about Amanda Serrano. She's fighting tomorrow. I've got a video coming up for her called The Dying Breed, and whatever else comes up. But that's it from me, Boxing on the Edge. Take care.